There remains one problem to fix with our code, and it's quite a tedious problem. If the word is possible, and original, and real, it passes all three of our tests right here. Then we add it to our words array and show it in the table view. That's fine. But what if the word isn't possible? Or it's possible but not original? In this case, we reject the word and don't say why, so the user gets no feedback. So the final part of our project is to give users feedback when they make an invalid choice. This is tedious because it's just adding else statements to all the if statements in submit, each time configuring a message to show to users. So in the submit method, we'll start by saying there are two new constants, let error title, a string, and let error message, a string. Now these two constants, both strings, have no initial values, and that's okay. Swift will still ensure they're set only once and constant afterwards. And if you try and use them without first giving them a value, Swift will refuse to compile. Next, we'll go into our three conditions here, and if all three return true, we're going to do return. We've added to the array here, add it to our table view here, and then get out of this method. We're happy, we can continue with the rest of the game. And that's important because otherwise, if one of those things does not pass, we'll set error title to a string and error message to a string and show an alert. So we'll add our first else down here for the is real. So if is real is true, then fine, do the stuff. But if is real failed, we'll say error title equals word not recognized. And error message is you can't just make them up, you know. Next else is down here. This is if is original has failed. If that's failed, we'll say down here, error title equals word already used. And error message, be more original. Boom. And the final else is down here. This matches up directly with if is possible, if that's failed. We'll then say error title is word not possible. Error message is you can't spell that word from string interpolation title force unwrap dot lower case. Once all those conditions are finished, if we're still here, i.e. this return did not get hit, then we'll create and show our alert controller. We'll say let AC equals the UI alert controller, with the title being our error title, message being our error message. For style, we'll use .alert again. Then AC.add action, UI alert action, with the title being OK, and the style being default. And for handler, I have to delete all that code to use a default value there, nil. So it just dismisses the alert controller when it's tapped. And finally, present AC animated true. So now we have else blocks here, here, and here to match our three conditions at the top. All the else's are effectively the same thing, just changing error title and message each time to be different strings depending on the right message to show at the time. The only variation really is a string interpolation down here, where we force unwrap title and lowercase it, so it'll say something like you can't spell that word from shocking, for example. Let's remove that space, but nicer perhaps. Now if you wanted to be really safe as it were, you could do a guard let for title, just in case you forgot to give it a title, which should never happen, but again, we'll be educational here. We say something like this, guard let title equals title, else return. So if that happens, if you forgot to give it a title, fine, bail out. And now title's always got a string, so it's safer to run. You can do that if you want to. It's a bit iffy. Like I say, this title's always going to be there, so I'm not terribly worried about this, but it's your code, you can do what you like. What really matters here is two other things. First, this return. This matters because if the word is possible and original and real, it will insert into the array and the table view and then exit the method. And this matters because otherwise it will try and show the alert controller without having an error title or message. It would be a bad thing. You don't want to do that. In fact, Swift wouldn't even allow it if we tried it. It would complain because we haven't given it a value. See, it's warning us error title has no value because it knows it could possibly get to this point here without a value, which would cause problems. Anyway, leave return in. And the other thing is, these two strings here, the constants, they're fantastic features of Swift. They are still constant, so the value can't be changed once set, but they haven't got initial values. And Swift lets you do this as long as you provide a value before they're actually read, and as long as you don't try and change the value later on. Anyway, that's our code finished. Press Command R to build it and run it. Let's see how it looks in the simulator. So my word is clarions. I'll try a word here. Let's do rain. That's a valid word. I'll try clear, which has an E in it. And it should say, that's not possible. It can't be spelled from clarions, which is correct. I'll try now spelling roar, R-O-A-R. Only one R here, so it should fail, R-O-A-R. Boom, not possible, can't be spelled. Let's try rain. We had already. Should say excellent, already used. Let's try a fake word. Let's try S-N-O-I-R-A-L-C. And that will hopefully say not recognized. That's a UI text checker in action, failing the word, it's not a real word.